Hey, good morning. Good morning. It's time to rise and receive. If you don't know me, I am Sonia Miller, speaker, coach, and best-selling author. And I'd like to welcome you to your 10-minute morning send-off that's designed to support you in receiving what you most want by unlearning struggle. So as we have a little bit of settle-in time and making a space for people to find their way to this Facebook Live, because I know technology causes some delays, I invite you to sit down. You might want a pen, paper sometimes. I got my tea here, actually my lemon water, and hope your Wednesday is off to a great start. So if you are somebody who would like to feel more fulfilled, who has been a seeker, longing and yearning for something that you can't quite put your finger on, you're going to like today's Rise and Receive, because the card I pulled from the Receive deck is Receive Fulfillment. So today is all about fulfillment, what it is, what it's not, what unfulfillment is, and I really look forward to unpacking that with you today. So as always, I'm going to read through the Receive card, the Receive deck card, which is Receive Fulfillment today. And we'll unpack it, and then I'm going to send you off on your day, send you off with a willingness mantra, which activates the energy of invitation. Invitation, which is the way we start to open up to all of the kindness that life offers, including concrete manifestations by unlearning struggle, because that's what I'm all about, is unlearning struggle. So welcome to all of you who are showing up here. I'm going to put my tea down, and I invite you to sort of sit back. This topic of fulfillment is very, very powerful. It can be deep, and it's kind of an interesting thing because many of us sort of unconsciously want fulfillment. We might even chase fulfillment, but we never really stop to really look at what exactly is fulfillment. And so what we do is we're on autopilot or on the gerbil wheel, and we're going after things and chasing our goals, but we never actually stop to really look at what this is all about. So I hope that as we open up this conversation, just let it wash over you. And if there are some new ideas, you're hearing the words, but you're kind of going, well, I hear the words and I understand them, but I don't fully know what this means. Come back to the Facebook Live. You can go to my YouTube channel if you prefer and listen to it a few times, okay? And then really importantly, practice the willingness mantra, because that's what really opens you up to what these concepts are all about, okay? So sit back, let the words wash over you, take a breath, and receive what this has to offer you. Okay, so today's card is Receive Fulfillment. Fulfillment is a feeling. It's not an accomplishment that you can solve, fix, or arrive at. Because of this, fulfillment is not something you can make happen, but you can invite it. Feelings, like the feeling of fulfillment, feelings are like energy that moves through our bodies. Like electricity, they can be guided and directed. Without wisdom and safe direction, feelings, like electricity, can cause harm. With guidance, feelings can shine the light on a fulfilling path. We invite fulfillment by inviting home the parts of ourselves that we have rejected, banished, shamed, or shunned. Fulfillment is the feeling we can feel as we allow ourselves to experience the truth of who and what we are. Wholeness is the truth of who and what you are. But you feel unfulfilled when you cannot experience this truth, this wholeness. For a whole is not whole when it's missing parts of itself. This leaves us wanting. Unfulfillment is based in the belief that something is missing, and as long as certain parts of you are unwelcome, this feeling will persist. Fulfillment, however, is the feeling you experience when wanting is absent. It feels like all is right in my world. Gratitude, overflowing, joy, peace, and well-being. In other words, the feeling that nothing is missing. So how does that feeling of wanting become absent? It can occur when you allow everything to be as it is. As you practice replacing fixing yourself with accepting yourself, as you explore how to receive every feeling that arises within you with gentleness and compassion, as you become willing to discover how to be the safest place in the world for you, then those parts of you that have longed to come home are finally brought back into the fold. The feeling of wanting softens, and the wholeness that you've always been come alive for you in your heart as you become full and filled with all of you. Then in turn, this allows you to receive the joyfully fulfilling expressions of life that have always been here but didn't have a place to enter. So that's receive fulfillment. And here's the willingness mantra I invite you to take into your day. Say it as often as you like. Just really take it on and see what you notice, what comes into your awareness, what you feel in your body, what shows up in your physical world. Here it is. I am willing to discover the joyful fulfillment of being my own safe haven. I am willing to discover the joyful fulfillment of being my own safe haven. So this is a topic that, because fulfillment is a feeling, sometimes it can really resonate on a deep level, but our minds are going to look for like, well, what does this mean? And what do I do about it? And how do I get my goals? Like that's kind of where the mind goes. So what I wanted to talk about today to unpack this a little bit more is this idea. There's kind of two things. One is we're going to talk about resistance, and we're going to talk about the chicken and the egg phenomenon, okay, when it comes to actually manifesting your real world goals as an experience and expression of your fulfillment, okay, as a reflection of your fulfillment. So the first thing is this, all right, chicken and egg. Let's start with that. Most people think if I get that thing out there, this dream, this goal, this manifestation, the job, the promotion, the fame, the car, the home, the money, then I'll be fulfilled. So we're always going after these physical world manifestations because at some level we really believe that there'll be some feeling of fulfillment. And what's really underneath that desire for fulfillment is, and we don't even realize this, it's completely unconscious, but what we're always chasing is to be free of the feeling of wanting. So it literally becomes like those dog races where they're always chasing the rabbit, but it's impossible to catch. And we're chasing. So it's that carrot, it's that dog track sort of scenario. We're always wanting. And as long as you're wanting, underneath all of that is the feeling that something is missing. You cannot feel fulfilled if you operate from or believe that something is always missing. Furthermore, we're chasing the wrong thing. We really think that that thing out there is going to give us that feeling of fulfillment. And one of the best things you can do, even if you don't believe me, is to be willing to discover the true source of your fulfillment. Because ultimately, that's going to send you back to you, okay? And truly, that fulfillment that we seek is this feeling of wholeness within ourselves, okay? It's the fact that there are parts of ourselves, and this is just part of the human condition, that don't have permission in, okay? So one way or the other, we've been conditioned, we've been shamed, we've learned to judge parts of ourselves. And as long as those parts are judged, they are unacceptable, and we hold them at bay, and we are not whole. Because those are parts of ourselves that want to come home. Okay, so from a chicken egg perspective, what I have experienced and what I've witnessed with countless clients over more than 2 decades is this. As we do the deeper work of welcoming and accepting all aspects of ourselves home, okay, then these amazing things start to manifest in our lives. And I'm talking about concrete manifestations. This is why I'm so passionate about teaching, receiving, and unlearning struggle, because the good news is that as the feelings get addressed within you, as this fulfillment gets nourished within you, the physical world manifests to match that. And it actually becomes kind of like, oh, by the way, I manifested all these great things. And these are the kinds of things: job opportunities, homes are manifested, money comes in, promotions, sales close. I mean, it goes on and on. That's the cherry on my sundae, is I get reports of this every day by text, by email. We check in during the receive course. It simply happens. So this stuff might sound kind of, like woo-woo, or like I don't know what to do with it. But trust me, when you deal with the true cause of every effect in your life, as you really nourish this feeling of fulfillment within you, the physical world rises up to match you. Okay, so that's the chicken egg. Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? I don't know what the answer to that is, but I can tell you that as long as you're chasing fulfillment out there, you'll keep chasing it. And when you start to come home to yourself and learn what that means and how to do it, not only do you feel the fulfillment, the feeling of it, but the manifestations show up in your world. It just happens. That's what I always say. As you unlearn struggle, the struggle of chasing your fulfillment outside of yourself, as you unlearn struggle, receiving simply happens. So that's the first thing I wanted to unpack. The second one is this, and this is kind of a nice, simple way to look at it, okay? Many of you have probably heard the saying, what you resist persists. So what that means is, if you're resisting something, you're giving lots of attention to what you don't want. You're fighting it, you're opposing it, okay? And attention magnifies whatever you give your attention to. So what you resist persists. If you're pushing against or fighting against something, the thing you don't want is going to be blessed and amplified. Okay, you're going to get more of it. However, the opposite of that is to honor, to receive, to accept. So what you can accept and receive then is transformed, then allows the abundance and the kindness of life that is already here to come in. So what happens with fulfillment and returning those aspects of self back is that as you resist yourself, or when you resist yourself, you also resist what life is always offering, because you're a part of life. Okay? So the wholeness that is your true nature can't be experienced, and the allness of life can't be received. Okay? So receiving your fulfillment is a feeling. It begins with you, and it expresses outwards as a manifestation, rather than it begins out there and we bring it in. So I hope this is lighting off some light bulbs, giving you some stuff to think about. I'm going to give you your willingness mantra again for the day. I am willing to discover the joyful fulfillment of being my own safe haven. Try that on and see what you notice. See if some resistance to your own self starts to fall away instead of when you're judging yourself or trying to fix yourself. Try that on. And as you start to notice a release of resistance in relationship to yourself, watch what shows up in your life. One of the best ways to practice this and to feel a shift, to feel an opening in terms of what you receive, is notice when you're being hard on yourself, when you're judging yourself, when you're shaming yourself, when you think some aspects of yourself are unacceptable. Just notice, and then I am willing to discover the joyful fulfillment of being my own safe haven. Take a breath. Just take a breath and watch what shows up in your life and watch how you feel in your body. Notice that. Okay, more and more resistance will relax, and then things will be able to come in for you. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you enjoy it. Please like, please share with anyone that you think could benefit. Check out the links in the description for free resources. You can see what other people manifest as they start practicing these receiving principles. It's very inspiring. And that's ultimately what I want to do here, is I hope to inspire you so that you can unlearn struggle and receive your fulfillment with greater and greater ease. All right. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everybody.